The least amount of pressure for these sensors is best, but I still need to have flow running through the cell. Next thing I'm going to do is come to my flow switch, and I'm going to loosen this. A little bit of water may come out of it. Pull up the shaft of the switch, hand tighten it, and if you noticed as I did that, the float followed that. So right now there's a significant amount of water flowing through this cell. In the case of the ampermetric sensors, I usually want to keep that flow to around 10 to 11 gallons per hour. That's a good starting point. We have well more than that going through this housing. So to restrict that, I'm going to come to my needle valve and start tightening this clockwise. And that will start to restrict the flow, bringing down my float. I'm going to read the top of the float. I'm going to put it right there where, right at about 11. Now I need to loosen this nut again, and I want to bring my switch down. It has to come down and be in contact with that float to register flow in my controller. So I loosen that nut and bring this down to where it starts to touch it, and put a little bit more on it. Hand tighten this a little bit, and that should stop the leaking. So at this point, I'm going to look back over at my pressure. Pressure still looks good. Flow is set where it needs to be. I can also turn the water off, make sure my float drops out, reintroduce the water. Float goes back up, comes in contact with my switch.